Welcome back to Fixity Fix. I'm David. Sarah is behind the camera.
Hey everybody!
And we're going to be talking about the headers where we'll be putting on this 2.94.
Fixity Fix!
We decided to do an episode about headers because there aren't many available for the 2.9 off the rack anymore. The only ones I could still find available were Pacesetter headers, so I ordered them. This truck has the dreaded automatic A4LD, and it's four-wheel drive, which is not dreaded. And the shifter for the transmission is column mounted, and there's something about the Pacesetter headers, and talking with people from Pacesetter and from Summit, nobody really knows why, but they're not. These headers aren't spec'd to fit the automatic with the column shifter. They apparently will fit the automatic with the floor shifter. I ordered them anyway and figure I'm going to try to fabricate my way into making these fit. It'll be easier than learning to fabricate my own headers, and if I get in too much trouble, I'll run it to an exhaust shop that has a good reputation around here and get them to figure it out and do a little welding for us. So here's the exhaust manifold that came off of the truck. You can see, comparing, the input for the factory manifold is much smaller than for the headers, and there's a little more room on here, so this is going to get better flow. We did get the ceramic coated ones significantly more, but the ceramic coating handles heat a whole lot better, and the less heat you have on your headers and the quicker the heat from the engine can escape, the more scavenging you get. So the better airflow, more horsepower. So these headers will add a significant amount of horsepower, and the ceramic coating will make them last longer, look better, not rust, increase the scavenging and the airflow. A disappointment with these Pacesetter headers, and they don't have very good reviews, is they didn't really bother to clean up their welding spatter or their slag. If you'll get into this middle one, you can see all these bumps here, all the slag from when the Pacesetter welder in training, I guess, welded these parts together with a MIG welder. It looks like all this slag got stuck on here. So I'm going to use my pneumatic grinder and grind off all these points that are going to interfere with airflow. We're going to be smoothing out the insides of these headers. We're going to be using this pneumatic grinder with this bird grinding wheel because these headers are made of steel. I'll show you the difference between the grinding wheels. This is for ferrous metals or steel. It's on here as opposed to for aluminum. You can see the aluminum one is fluted, removes a lot more material more quickly than the knurled or cross-hatched one for steel. I'm going to use this grinder to grind down the slag, which should pop right off. It's not bound onto there very strongly. I could probably just use a wire brush, but I'm going to smooth out the welds here so that there's just better airflow so that the exhaust can escape more easily. I've already smoothed out a weld here so that the air is going to flow instead of getting stuck. This is the ceiling of the header. This is the floor. It's much more important to have a smooth ceiling than a smooth floor. The air doesn't care much about the floor when it flows, but smoothing out the ceiling is going to help airflow. This one, you probably can't see it, but I can certainly feel it. There's a big ridge that we're going to take down just like there was here, and that's going to give us back maybe a few horsepower per cylinder. I have sensitive parts covered up in plastic that just happen to be nearby. We've got a vacuum hose connected to the exhaust exit, so we're going to turn that on and just pull out as much of the detritus from grinding as we can. Thank you, Sarah. Starting the vacuum. Eye protection. Ear protection. Feeling the bumps with my fingers and grinding them off. See a bump right there? Now we're going to reduce this lip. Much smoother. The air will scavenge out as it's supposed to more effectively. This will be a few horsepower per cylinder probably, especially getting the sealings cleaned up on this header. Tune in the future and we'll install these and see if and how we can make them fit or fabricate ourselves out of the mess of them apparently not fitting with the column shift crappy automatic transmission in this truck. Thank you for watching, and if you find this kind of thing helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more from Fixity Fix, and consider donating blood, giving platelets, and please go do something nice for somebody.